We're just a bunch of Montanans trying to
that
figure
bad.
shit out. So sit back, relax, and join Mike Jopek,
Hey, where's the chicken wings?
Steve Quinnell,
Why is beer $7 a bottle or a pint?
Ryan Hennon,
Present.
Ed Doctor,
Go Pack, go.
as they discuss Montana and beyond.
Yuck. So what the fuck's going on?
Jesus,
this is
huh?
This news cycle is
a wild one.
insane lately. Like we were just saying, we could do 3 hours of this a day, 7 days a week, and not
I'm not
be
sure
able to catch
people
up.
would want that, but
It's fucking nuts. No, they probably wouldn't at all. But anyway, we're going to start out talking about Steve and I and Kevin, the producer, went to the Montana Democratic Convention in Livingston to support Mike Jopek for chair.
Loser.
Big time. He got fucking pounded. A lot of reasons for that. We won't go into those. But we'll start with our
Mike?
we'll start with our takes on the convention. There was a little turmoil, a little drama, a little too much drinking, probably more than anything.
A restraining order.
The rules at the next convention to ban the liquor.
Probably ban the liquor.
That
How are you
would
gonna
go-
s- I think. Well, they
say.
were obviously drunk before they got there because there was no drinking in the place.
even more poorly attended than this year. You ban the liquor.
Or were they?
I mean, the lobbyists would only be able to do the thick steaks then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we need martinis and wine with
Well,
those
the
steaks.
drama started when the podcast showed up, right?
Oh,
Ed?
that's right. We were denied entry.
Pod boys are in the house.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you had to pre-register, and it didn't really make it known on the website. Like normally for events, it's like a big red block. Must register by this date. I didn't see that. Now, I'm not the best looker. I don't see a lot of things. Just ask Amy. I'm bad at it. But for sure, I'm like, it's Montana. We can just drive down there and pay for our tickets. And I was like, I'm sorry. We came all the way from Whitefish, and we know some people. Yeah, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. But the lady was kind of stressed and stuff. It was like a lot going on, the Kirk thing.
So she
and
wouldn't
all
let you
that.
in?
No, they ended up letting us in.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had to
She
go
was-
home.
The
She
biggest
told us to
problem,
go
yeah,
home
she said go
first,
home. We had to come
pay
back
you
like an hour
$70
later.
and come back in an hour.
Yep.
Bring cash.
And,
She
and then
she
gave
apologized
us-
because our name tags wouldn't look that good because we had to
Yeah.
handwrite them.
Oh, okay.
we didn't have the printed out
People
name
couldn't-
tags of the
Could anyone
convention
read
ice.
there anyway? Yeah.
So anyway, what I thought was surprising and kind of cool is John Tester called in to nominate Jopek, and I was like, "Damn, that's fucking cool!" Like, you told me like seconds before it happened or something. You told me like,
Well, I only knew seconds before also. They didn't want to tell me. And after actually when they told me, I was like, oh, crap, I might actually win.
it was. But all in all, definitely a lot of friends, a lot of good people. I mean, that's the thing. There's some people that were there that I haven't talked to in a while, and somehow my podcast has made them mad or something, But
People don't like to be criticized.
exactly. But they need it, and that's kind of why we're here and why other people are here.
Yeah,
And
we're supposed to use our words.
If we were
Yes.
winning, it would have been one thing. If we were criticizing
Yeah.
the party and we're winning a lot of races,
then you'd be a little.
then
That's
it's
like,
yeah,
okay, you're an asshole.
Yeah, But we're not winning, are we?
No.
No. I mean, back when I was in office, we did nothing but win, and it seems like over the last 6 years, we've kind of lost touch with that. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with this. The Democrats are focused on, the urban areas, places where they think they can win, and they really, really need to get the 56 county express going. The
Yeah.
strategy focus more on rural, and that's where the votes are.
Well, the funny thing was that there were a lot of people that said you were arrogant and you put on airs and
I'm like looking at people like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well,
you don't know. Yeah.
I was just like, do you know Mike Jopek? I
Like,
mean,
you don't
it
know
reminded
this
me
dude.
of the commercials about Tester that Sheehy was running. That he's somehow some Washington elite that has lost touch with who Montanans are. And I was like, you couldn't
most
be further from
Montanans
the
have
truth
6
in this whole
fingers.
thing.
John Tester has 7.
Yeah. And he's got a 7-point plan.
Yeah.
He does. Well, I don't know. I mean, there was definitely a whisper campaign that the consulting class was doing, and I knew I was running against not just Shannon, who's a great person, but also the consulting class, who's kind of whispering behind the scenes. And there was only 200 delegates, so none of it became public. Because it was kind of all behind the scenes, and I understood the game. I wasn't, that
It wasn't
doesn't bother
public, but
me.
I was disappointed that I'm positive 3 of our delegates didn't vote for you, and I'm just like, that's just weird to me. But these people, I think they've got something to gain. No, people always have something to gain by going with the popular side, it's no different in politics. It's no different in sports and daily life. You just kind of go with who the winning team. Like honestly, Trump won. He's a winner. Everybody sees him as this winner, and we want to keep winning. And it's all about winning. And we're fucking losing bad. But if it's about winning, whatever, And it disappointed me a little bit about it. But all in all, I thought it was all right. I hope, your plan that is the reason I supported you and wanted to go down and lobby on your behalf. And I'm sorry, you chose the wrong guys to help you out, I think. If they didn't sell liquor down there, it might have been a different
If it
story.
wasn't for the Tito's, is what I hear.
Man.
I know.
Actually, I think we did a pretty good job getting you to talk to people. And
Yeah, we did. We did do that stuff.
like,
we did.
we'd like to talk to this person.
I
that
changed a few
person.
minds. It
Yeah.
would have been a lot worse.
No,
Or at least they told us.
Or
At
we
least
don't
they
really
said
know.
they had their vote.
They
You're
didn't want
right.
to argue with you.
The
That's
internal
true,
polling
probably.
didn't come back in time to really determine how,
I was
how
7
much the
Tito's
vote
deep. Nobody
changed.
wanted to argue with me.
No.
But you did, at the end, you congratulated Shane. You didn't walk away sour grapes.
No,
or
it's
any of that
great.
stuff, right?
Look, what you do in these things is there's unity that comes at the end. And, I talked to Shannon briefly beforehand and said, like, look, Shannon, I think you got this thing, And she was like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, I can see the votes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to raise your hand. I'm
She
going to
had
give you
table and
unity
flyers and
gesture
everything.
because
Mike had
that's what
nothing.
you have to do.
He had
know.
you three with him.
Yeah. Well, somebody did put paper and Mike's name on a pickup truck and a sign. So Mike had something there, But
And that's how it works in national politics too, right? Is that the loser concedes and makes a speech about bringing everybody together, right? Isn't that kind of the way it works in national politics?
I seem to recall that there was, other folks who might say that the election was rigged in past elections.
now we're talking.
And this
Now we're
was
talking.
the first
Now
digital
we're
election
talking.
for the
Yeah.
Democratic
Yeah.
Party. And
yeah,
so,
you got some evildoers in that party.
Yeah, just like the state of Oklahoma wants to. The school board, state
That
school
thing can go
board
fuck
wanted
itself.
wanted to force teachers to teach that there were discrepancies in the 2020 election.
Oh, yeah. No, they wanted that in their curriculum.
Fortunately,
Yes.
they lost in the Supreme Court. and
Yes,
that was-
they
that
wanted
was a
that
good
in their
thing, so,
curriculum.
sorry.
And they wanted all Trump Bibles at the shiny price of $59 instead of the $4 Bible you can get on
Was that the
Amazon.
superintendent who
Yes,
got
he
caught
got
watching
caught with
porn?
porn. He
Okay.
denies it. Oh, he just came out and said something so fucking stupid the other day.
What?
I can't. Oh, dude. Yeah, I know. It's hard to
That
believe.
doesn't sound like
Anyway,
that
we're
guy.
talking about the convention.
Sorry, I
But,
derailed us there. For
these
a minute.
guys are going to do a good job. I mean, they put some good board members up there.
Yeah.
I know plenty of them. Anna Whiting-Sorrell, brilliant person,
I've
really
heard that.
good advocate. And Shannon's going to do a good job. Look, they had this little hiccup with their vice chair selection, this Max guy.
Yes.
And
get
that kind
into.
of threw him for a little bit of loop. I mean,
Well, who the fuck goes out and calls out Tester?
Well,
in
and it wasn't
Montana
that,
to
just
Democrats.
that. He went out and he talked to every newspaper that he could find, whether it was the Livingston paper or the Free Press or the Helena paper, and had this message that we don't want to hear it from the old guard, And
Yeah.
he kind of kicked John Tester in the nuts. It's like, what are you talking about? John Tester's been working for Montana for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
I know. And doing a good job.
And then he goes to the
And
other
he was a
paper,
winner.
and he goes to the other paper and he says, "Look, Democrats are a bunch of socialists." And it's like, oh my God, whose messaging is
And
this?
how are you the vice chair?
Yeah.
So what I said at the party a lot, and this is the truth, the Republicans are in very much disarray.
Oh yeah.
Why the fuck don't the Democrats just shut up, go to work, and not, this whole thing, it's crazy. Now he's not vice chair, of course.
No, he
Some
got
people
the-
think he's a plant.
he
You don't
got
know who
the
this
boot.
guy is. It is brutal. That shit's brutal. And, now they're getting up. So we don't know who but we believe the guy that Tesser's supporting for vice chair, Max Johansson. No, that's not. No, that's the guy that
That's
kicked.
the guy that got the
That's
boot.
the guy that
Yeah,
got the boot.
well,
That
and
got
that
the boot.
talking to that guy, I didn't realize who he was because I was pretty
You were-
clueless about
you
a
were
lot of
super
the stuff,
hammered,
and the Tito's intervened a little bit, but he is the kind of slick politician
Yeah,
that
I kinda got that.
Montanans do not like. They
Well,
do not
they
like
like
There's
she-
the
people like
intern
that.
for the Republican there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that's crazy.
And so the Democrats, they stubbed their toe out of the gate. There's no doubt about
Yeah.
it. They had
Yeah.
a bad first 72 hours after the convention. I think they're going to find a good vice chairperson, and they're going to move forward. And
Tester's supporting somebody for that, isn't he?
Tester's thrown out some names. He's got this Iraqi vet, petty officer. What's his name?
Knudsen?
Yeah, Bruce or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah. We were talking.
You
about
know, and he's worked for the vote vets, and you know he is just battle hardened and hard nosed and the kind of guy I kind of like. Headstrong and wants to get shit done. What I keep hearing, there he is there. What I keep seeing with Bruce is he keeps asking, "What's the plan? What's the plan?"
Yeah, what's the plan? Somebody's got to ask that.
And look, Democrats have a lot of good young staffers. There's no doubt about it. They got a lot of good young energy out there. They need somebody like this to give them a little direction because, it's not just about passion and energy as we see with Max. You can really stub your toe pretty quickly if you're not careful.
Dude, I mean, not a polished politician by any means. I don't know what his problem is. But one thing is that I want, like, why I supported you in the, in the big way was your focus on getting committees in all these counties, okay? Yeah. And if anybody's listening to our podcast or watching it, we want to let you be able to. You can email us anytime. We'll help. We'll do what we can. bbbpodcastmt@gmail.com. You got any questions? You want to get hooked up with somebody? We've got a network, and we can build a way bigger network. Because a lot of people don't. I mean, these are very rural spots where not everybody gets together, and they don't know where to turn. It's hard. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually have contacted me after, I put out an op-ed that upset some Missoula people again, and I get it. I seem to trigger Missoula.
Yeah.
But a lot of people.
You didn't bring granola and patchouli.
I'm not vegan enough or something.
Yeah, there's something.
That was like Ryan, right? Vegan except for veal.
It's my only exception.
Yeah,
it's so tender.
Democrats.
Yeah. But anyways, a lot of these real folks have actually reached out to me and they said, "Hey, thanks for talking about this farmer stuff. Thanks for talking about rural stuff." And they're like, "Why don't you come out here? Why don't you talk to us?" And so like, yeah, I'm happy to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go over as well as a Missoula, but everyone's got to roll somewhere.
Everybody's got to roll. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Missoula, Lewis and Clark, Carrollton, they got their stuff on lockdown. We know it. My biggest problem always is the preaching to the choir thing. Democrats seem to do that. And maybe just too timid or something. But
it's uncomfortable.
Like I said,
go
anybody
out and
can
talk to
email
people
us.
with cowboy hats on.
Message us on the social media,
on.
which is we get a lot of that, so it's hard. But to keep up with it. But I think emailing our podcast would be the best way to go. And I think if bbbpodcastmt@gmail. I think it's on our Facebook page. It's probably on our Instagram. So there's ways to contact us. But I've said I would enjoy going and setting up a meeting somewhere. Like I would go to Plentywood. I mean, I've been there, and it's Plentywood.
It's got a lot going on.
People got a lot to say, and they want to talk. I think
so. But they're hurting
really
too.
Want to,
like they know they're not doing so good right now. A lot of people aren't doing good. I mean, the prices are so high, and Montana's higher than most places I go anyway. I go to a grocery store in Seattle, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why is this so cheap? And what is this? I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what half the fruits and vegetables are over there.
Furikake seasoning? What in the world?
Oh, that's the best.
That's very good.
Is that edible?
Seaweed and sesame seeds.
So
and
anyway,
a bunch of
MSG.
MSG.
It was a good time. It was
Fabulous.
good. We got to do a couple interviews. We got to interview Sam Lux. He's running in the Eastern District against Downing, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah. He's the guy with that great hat in that YouTube video.
So
the chops were a little weird.
He's like, he told me it took months to get a hold of their Central Committee chair there. He said it took him months. I'm like, really? But, this is a party that doesn't have money. And I know that. There's no money. That's, candidates will get pissed. They're not getting help. They're not getting this. They're not getting that. I get it. If they're not giving information, that pisses me off. But when it comes to money, I don't see them having any. And they don't ask. I don't know if they're too afraid to ask or why the fundraising is so hard for the Democrats in Montana. But it's apparent they don't. When they have a candidate that seems to be good, that person's not getting any money. Nobody's really getting any money. So they don't have any money.
I think Democrats are going to get their shit together. I have faith in that they're going to get their shit together. We got to give them a little extra rope and, help them out a little bit.
And help.
And it's okay to criticize a little bit, too. I don't have any problem with that. Look,
obviously.
We got to get on the winning strategy and we got to move forward. Everyone wants to get stuck in this battle thing, and that's not it. We're going to have to move forward. We got to help the candidates that we like. And,
everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And hopefully somehow with the right messaging, money can, because people ask me like, why aren't there signs and advertising talking about how shitty things are and asking people who they've been voting for the last 6 years? I mean, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Nobody can afford a fucking house here.
I got my $400 rebate check today.
Oh, I got to fill that out.
Oh,
I haven't done that yet.
I applied early on, and I still haven't gotten mine.
Well, you're on this podcast.
Yeah, you're on the list.
Well, I'm sure.
We all heard what you said about Charlie Kirk last week. You're on the list.
Anyway, I think they did a good job putting on a pretty good convention. It was nice. It was in a great venue and a really fun town. But another thing about Montana, every bar was closing at like 10 or 11 o'clock. Only the whiskey, whiskey something where we went to that first night. She's like, all the bar close at about 10, and they come here and drink.
Why is that?
We're like, this is a Friday
Livingston.
night.
It's Livingston.
But look at Whitefish. Whitefish ain't that busy at night anymore either.
Is it just
because it's money?
People
no
aren't drinking?
Children can afford to live there or any Montana town. So your nightlife is dying all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was because they heard the Democrats were in town.
Yeah.
They're going to be fisticuffs and all that kind of stuff.
And I thought it would be way busier because the Democrats were in town, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Saturday night was definitely busier. But everything ended up closing. We had to end up at the 49er.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was some excitement for sure at the Democratic convention, but it was nowhere near as exciting as the Republican convention, where the first thing they did was boot the nasty nine.
I know.
And now they're in court arguing about it.
I know. I mean,
and so Democrats have some disagreements, and sometimes it spills public and it tweaks people out, but. Look, we're not in court. We're not like trying to boot 9, 10 people of our party out.
We argued over
our own party.
We argued over the definition of words for hours at that convention.
But it doesn't
Sorry, I missed the rule.
That's what made you want the Tito's.
Seems like, holy cow, should we just go to a bar and interview people at the bars?
11:30.
No, dude, we got to stay
like
here.
the Bill Clinton strategy. You argue about the words. What's the definition of is? Right?
It depends on what the definition of is.
What was the word that
was
like the definition was disputed?
Oh God, I can't even remember now. But we were all sitting there like, oh my God, this is just like, how do we?
And look, Democrats like their committee meetings.
Yeah,
love them.
They do. They like to be on committees. I
was
like
surprised
meetings.
it was only
I do like
4
meetings.
hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was surprised they must have cut it off at the end because there were 15 things, and at 4 o'clock we were only on number 11. So
I know.
it was.
Well, and the Flathead delegate withdrew the motion to give urban areas more votes. And I asked him, I go, so why'd you do that? He goes, it wasn't real popular. I'm like, duh, you think? Why would you waste the time? Obviously, nobody advised whoever thought of that one.
the urban folks.
Well, I think he was the one who brought it forward.
They
don't.
I mean, they got all the central committees from the urban areas, and then they got all the lawmakers. You saw how they came in like football players on the day of the vote. They didn't have any trouble registering.
No, you're right. They all got it.
And so all those lawmakers are from urban areas. They got all the votes they need.
Yeah, no, they definitely did.
Yeah.
So, again, hopefully we can help people out, build a network, and get people to form these committees and go from there and help Shannon the most we can. And, it's funny, like, I wouldn't see myself being this involved with helping the Democrat Party. I don't think I ever really thought that. But I'm fucking sick of the Republicans. I'm just sick of them. I'm not sick of Republicans. I like a lot of Republicans, obviously, friends and family. It's the MAGA.
There's a difference between MAGA and Republican. There really is.
I think there is.
And I think
there is.
Other than the people in power, the difference is stark between MAGA and conservative, traditional conservative republicanism.
Yes.
People in power understand they have to stay in power, so they have to do everything that Donald Trump says.
Yep.
And if they don't, they're gonna. It's the night of the long knives. They're out.
The
They're
difference
gone.
is it to Mickey Mouse. I mean,
Yeah,
it is
and
fucking far out there.
I mean, I have, I remember I've told you a story about my cousin who is a traditional conservative Christian Republican who is a fiscal conservative. We used to have fights back and forth about, Al Gore versus George W. Bush.
Right.
And
Chads.
Yeah. And I mean, even before that, like, he was like, what is a lockbox? What are we going to put Social Security in a lockbox? I don't know if you guys remember that. That's going way back.
Yeah.
But, he would never have voted for Al Gore. But he voted for Kamala Harris, because he knows that MAGA is not the party of this country. It's not the party of the Republicans. It is not the party.
But they all kowtow to him, and this is what gets me.
They all do.
What, Tom Tillis is the only fucker that voted against the bill because he
but
was on his way out anyway? Epstein files are still fucking suppressed. Like I said, now I'm fully on board. 3 weeks ago on this show, I said, I don't even think Trump did anything wrong. I don't.
Well,
now I'm like, that motherfucker did a lot wrong. There's no doubt in my mind that this is the craziest fucking shit
I
going
once
on.
was blind, but now can see.
Yeah, the
eyes have been opened.
Those are the Republicans that need to be
It's
reached.
opened my eyes.
Those are the Republicans that have to be reached by whoever is running for office, either statewide or nationwide. They have to be. We have to start talking about how bad MAGA is.
I know.
And we can't be afraid. We cannot be afraid of it.
The thing is, Zinke and Daines, to me, and I've met both of those guys, they're not MAGA guys. They're not fucking out there crazy, just stupid people, But they toe the line.
Both of them wouldn't release the Epstein files.
Of course.
They both voted against
they're on
the
his
release.
side.
Yep.
And it's just, and it's sad. It's sad because money and power outweigh any kind of ethic. Any ethic bone they have in their body, they just fuck it, money and power, it's all money. It's easy for whoever's involved in this whole Epstein thing to pay each one of these fuckers $100 million to keep their mouth shut. I'm positive that money is there. And there's something like that going on. How the fuck none of this gets leaked out? Nothing. You know what I mean? None of the survivors, they say the survivors are we're going to come up with our own list. Jesus Christ, how much money the survivors get to be quiet? It's like, it's a weird. It's bad. It's huge and it's bad. But let's talk about something else. Fuck,
We've talked about Epstein, although
I know.
This would
Not
be
enough.
if it weren't for everything else that happens.
Right.
17 things that happen every day.
Every day.
We would
It's
still be
nuts.
talking about Epstein. If this
Yeah.
were Biden's administration, we'd be talking about two things: Hunter's laptop and
Hillary's
the Epstein
emails.
files.
Well, I guess before we start, I will say this. I'll say, he and I have had our disagreements over the years. I disagree with just about everything he says. He's a despicable person. I think he's a horrible human being. We agreed on almost nothing, but that said, he doesn't deserve to be dead. So, I'm man enough to say rest in peace, Robert Redford.
Yes. Yep. Rest in peace. He was in some great movies.
Yeah.
Really great movies. I didn't always agree with him either. I thought he was a little too liberal for me back in the time, but he's a great man.
He was so hunky,
Butch
man.
Cassidy
He
and
was-
Sundance Kid are now
He
together
was
again.
such a hunk, though.
He was.
That
He was
guy
hot.
was.
He was
And he
Jeez.
sold really nice
Jeez.
women's
He's
clothes.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
weird.
My
He
mom.
sold women's clothes,
Oh,
really?
my mom loves his women's clothes.
Really?
Oh yeah, she actually wrote him once and said, "Look, she's probably going to listen. She's going
Rode him or wrote him?
wrote him.
Oh,
Lucky
okay.
wrote him a letter and said, "Look, all the old ladies got the money, and we tend to be a little overweight, and all your clothes are too skinny."
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But, in all seriousness, I will say, rest in peace, Robert Redford. I love the guy. A true Hollywood legend,
Great
icon.
actor.
And I think the lesson here, what I thought about when Robert Redford passed away, obviously I think about him and Paul Newman, Butch Cassidy and the
Yeah.
Sundance
Yeah,
Kid,
yeah.
The Sting. And I thought about, these are two guys, Hollywood legends. They've got fame. They've got ungodly wealth. They've got influence. And Paul Newman decides to start a food company, Newman's Own, where he gives the proceeds to children in need. And then Robert Redford starts.
Great chocolate cream cookies.
Yeah, and then Robert
Holy
Redford
fuck.
They
starts.
got rid of the ginger O's, though.
They
Sorry.
did.
I'm good with
Those
that.
were the best.
Anyway. And Robert Redford starts the Sundance Institute, which is, an institute dedicated to independent artists, independent film. As a huge movie guy, the medium of film owes an untold debt to Robert Redford. So my message would be to all you, shitty, greedy AI, crypto, Silicon Valley billionaire guys, do that with your money. It's not too late to do something
They can't
good.
spend it all anyway.
Yeah, it's not too late to do good things with your money like Robert Redford did. So that's
that's
what I
great.
would say about Robert.
There's good people out there like that.
So
Wow,
what's with the
a moment of
silence?
I was
silence.
gonna say, whoa.
Guess that was a moment of silence for
Maybe
Robert,
we were
for
too
Redford.
hard on Charlie last week if that's how we handled Robert. Holy cow. So I think the big story,
What's the big story? What,
the big
what's
story,
one of the big stories?
yeah, the big
this
story
week?
from this week, is the political violence from the left. I think that was a big a big
JD Vance
thing.
said that hosting for Charlie Kirk on his show.
The plane,
So,
the
I mean,
plane.
they're basically saying that nobody on the right has ever caused any violence politically at all. This is what they're telling people. No fucking shit. They are acting like it's like J6 never fucking happened. You
I
know?
think it's fairly patently absurd.
And look, we have the percentages in front of us.
Like I said, non-MAGA Republicans don't believe that shit. They don't believe any of that crap.
But they have something to gain by believing it.
And it's important that we don't let JD's rhetoric distract us from the issue at hand, and that is the Cracker Barrel rebrand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
very
need to
important.
stay
They've
on
lost
topic.
too many people. What happens if Cracker Barrel goes away? Are we gonna have to go to Waffle House?
Right. Ooh, I do love
Thank
Waffle
God they
House.
never put a skinny old white guy on their thing. It's just the
What, do they have
letters.
age requirement to get in these places? Is like 55 and up or something?
Yeah, but I think you see all this political. They say these political violence from the left. We're looking at this thing from the Cato Institute, which is a right-leaning institute. They're more libertarian, but
Pretty libertarian.
and they've got these statistics here where it looks like deaths from political violence coming from the left is at 65 out of 3,599. So I don't know. It doesn't seem
The right
to
is
have-
at
Is
391.
that the one that conveniently disappeared off of the Department of Justice's website?
It is.
Today?
That's the
Or
one, yeah.
Was it today or yesterday or whatever day
Yep.
it was?
That's
mean,
the one.
Yeah.
How is that not authoritarianism and like dictatorship and all this stuff, pulling shit off the official websites? I mean, none of us have ever seen this really, and if they're gonna, they set the narrative, they do, and they do a great job of it. They do. Most people are sick of national news. They don't want to listen to anything from a corporate whore. Fox News and Newsmax still have their people, but they've even lost viewership too. But it's like you're dwindling this down. So you've got podcasts like this there where we do get a lot of great comments. We're like, God, thank God somebody's fucking telling the truth.
Right.
Because people don't know who the fuck's telling the truth. And you got these people, Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, Trump, saying that it's all the left. It's all left. From what I've seen, I don't think the guy that killed Charlie Kirk was that left. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a mistake
Well,
to
the
make it
thing is,
about the
nobody
left or the
knows
right.
now.
Okay, there you go.
I don't think you should make it about the left or right because it's the violence that's the problem.
Mental
It
health
was
doesn't care what party
it
you're
was
in.
a problem. It's wrong to shoot people.
There you go.
It's just wrong to kill people. I don't care if it's Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or the Shapiro guy, the Pennsylvania governor, getting firebombed.
It's a bad
You're right.
enough.
You should not.
It is wrong. People got to smarten up and stop.
It's funny that you're right, but the rhetoric just gets crazier and louder and more nuts.
Well,
and
they
it's-
can't.
and the right,
they
if you
can't
ask me,
back down.
it seems as if they're inciting violence. Like when you're out there, you're telling people that no, a blatant fucking lie. I mean, a lie.
The radical Democrats are responsible for this, and we're going to hunt them all down and get rid of them. I mean, that's definitely inciting people to violence.
Because that's on purpose. That's how you bring the National Guard in.
And
That's how
wanna,
you do all this
they
stuff.
want to
And-
talk about mental health. Since the 90s, the Republicans have blocked any
all the
sort
funding.
of gun violence studies from the CDC being done on a mental health level.
Just
They
the amount of
can't-
money they took out of the triple B bill.
Yeah.
It was hundreds of millions of dollars of mental health services they took out of there. And if they wanted more community police on the streets, they would hire more community police who are trained to handle community situations.
Well, putting the guard in D.C. costs $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Why don't you put that in the fucking D.C. Police Department? Maybe pay people a living wage so they can fucking be proud of their job. But public servants, these people don't really get much money.
Put
They
got
got-
to
they're risking their
put
life.
officers
Those
back on the
guards,
street.
guards too. There's your teachers. They're your firefighters. That's what they do for work back home. They have to get sequestered from work to get called to duty like this. I mean, their jobs and their livelihoods are in danger.
Well, because they don't get paid anywhere. I mean, you just don't make a lot of money in the guard. You just don't,
Yeah, I mean,
You do when you're on active duty. It's different.
I mean,
when you
if
get called
you're
into
going
active
to duty,
we had 3 straight days, even more, of the right saying, oh, this guy was on the left, this is trans violence. And it turns out, from what I can gather, that this guy's pretty much politically unaffiliated.
Yeah, and I expect nothing less. I mean, if anything, he's a groiper.
I think
if anything, that's
what the fuck is a groiper anyway?
Nick
Groiper
Fuentes,
is
Google him.
Oh,
okay.
man.
These
I've,
people are
I've gotten that question.
far right of Charlie
I
Kirk.
tried to read about that and I couldn't even figure
Way
it out.
far right of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, basically right-wingers that are extremely online and are really into memes and they hate Jews
And women, like it's way worse.
But it's
than
like, you know,
Kirk.
the guy appears to be politically unaffiliated, and you know, I guess maybe his family is Republican, but I don't really know how that relates to him. His dad's a retired cop, but it's like I don't really know what that says. But it was fascinating how all these canned responses that the right wing had.
Yeah.
You know, they were like,
they're so scared it was one of them.
they were like, if he's Mexican, build the wall. If he's Arab, ban Muslims. If he's black, it's BLM and Antifa.
Yep.
And then if he's white, it's we need to ask ourselves some serious questions as a nation as to how we're failing these young white men. What kind of movies are we making? What kind of video games are we
video games are
allowing?
very violent.
What kind of music are we allowing into our culture? But I mean, they've been doing that stuff since Columbine.
But the only white boogeyman is the LGBTQ person. That's,
And, well-
because now the rumor is that he was living with a trans person,
and Sleepy
that's
Joe.
how he was. That's
well,
how
apparently
he was,
nobody trusts the text messages they released.
Well, how different, Ryan?
They
that
don't know. They
is
just don't know, and so
than,
they're-
you
all
know,
of
that's
it's coming up
so
against the wall.
different than when these school kids are getting shot. You know, one every other day in
I know.
America.
Every other day.
The message always is, we can't talk about that. It's too soon
Don't
to talk about
politicize
that.
it.
You know, don't politicize it. Don't mention
Yeah.
anything. And these are school kids, and oh my gosh.
I wonder if a video of a school kid getting shot, like the one people saw of Charlie Kirk, I wonder if that would do anything. Probably not.
Probably not.
I would hope, but probably not, because it's a violent image. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
I
think
mean?
it would move the needle.
There were kids falling out of the windows at Columbine.
Yeah.
That were jumping out of the library that were on video, and that was
was
shocking
gnarly.
at the time. That was the first one where everybody kind of woke up a little bit, but even that, you know, and then
Yeah.
Alex Jones, calls
Throwing
Sandy
gas on the fire.
a hoax.
Well, so anyway, I mean, this. We're living in a world right now where Jimmy Kimmel gets fired and Brian Kilmeade doesn't get a fucking thing for saying homeless people should die.
Right. Well, you know,
Stephen Miller's calling for war on the left. I mean, look, what the fuck
I mean,
is really going on?
back to this
it's
kid.
the authoritarian playbook. I mean,
It
is.
is.
You control the media, and that's all they care about doing right now.
I don't think it really makes any difference, like what party this guy was affiliated with, because people in this country, the media or whoever, is just going to mold him to fit whatever narrative they see fit.
true.
Because
true.
it seems like the more these things happen, it seems like the people of this country, they kind of yearn for this like politically cohesive, terrorism with a legible objective. And it's like sometimes that's just not the case.
Yeah.
And it appears to be that with this guy. I don't know if
But
he
they're
had,
going to make it the case.
I don't know if he had an axe to grind, and the right is trying really hard to shoehorn this in and say, look, when you kill a political figure, that is an inherently political act. And it's like, well, I don't know. The guy that tried to kill Reagan, he wanted to do it to get famous enough so Jodie Foster would notice him.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
So it's like, it wasn't that he
yeah,
was pissed
yeah.
at, yeah, right? Sounds of the Lamb's rules. So that's kind of how I look at all this, where I'm just like, all the stuff coming out about him and his trans roommate, or he had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or his parents were Trump. It's like, people are just going to mold him to whatever narrative they see fit. And it's just the sad state of, political violence in America.
So is there a difference? Here's a question: is there a difference between shooting Charlie Kirk and going to a school and shooting people?
I think shooting's just wrong. I think
Yeah.
shooting
Yeah,
people is
it's-
just wrong. We
I don't think
gotta
there is
like,
a difference. You're shooting.
we're gonna have to
make.
maybe make the 10 Commandments a little simpler so people understand. Maybe we just make it into one commandment. Don't be an asshole.
That's all we need. No. The only commandment you need is
Yeah.
love. That's
That's
it.
good.
But,
Love. That's the only commandment you need
John
is to
Lennon
love.
over here, yeah.
That's it.
Love is all you need. But, the knee-jerk reactions that we saw from the
You don't
right.
like John Lennon either?
I love John Lennon.
Okay. all right.
The knee-jerk reactions we saw from the right and the left, I think, were very telling. We had
Yeah.
a lot of people on the right saying, this is the Reichstag fire. This is when they lit the German parliament on fire after
Right.
Hitler was elected, and we need to find these Democrats and, round them up and arrest them. And the left did what the left does, and they just immediately started apologizing for anything and everything.
We'll fire Jimmy Kimmel right now.
And,
Fired everybody.
and the thing that I was thinking about is like,
Canceled everybody.
Yep.
is, we talk a lot about how inept the Democrats are and how feckless they are. And something like this really drove home the point of, there's going to be a point when the left is going to have to realize that the right is too invested in this culture war to let this stuff go.
Yeah.
They're too invested in it, and there's going to come a point where people on the left, instead of just constantly apologizing, you're going to have to tell some of these people, you know what? When you said the Civil Rights Act is bad, I think you're wrong. I think that is incorrect.
Yes.
And you're going to have to say why you think it's right. And we're not seeing that from the left. We're just seeing this, we're so sorry. How could this happen? I don't know. It seems like they always have the same response to everything. The right's response is always round up the Democrats. This is civil war. And the left's response is always,
I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry.
very sorry.
Well, and you have all the pundits out there and all these people that talk about it and that keep us divided. And
I blame Canada.
How many times?
Right.
How many times I've heard like goddamn fucking liberals is so goddamn stupid. They're so fucking stupid. Like they're just stupid. And you hear fucking uppity ass liberal being like, I mean, these conservatives don't have a goddamn brain cell in their brain, and this and that's like, you know what? There are fucking conservatives that are billionaires. There are liberals that are fucking billionaires. There are conservatives that are gay as fuck. There's liberals that are gay as fuck. I mean, we're all the fucking same. Yeah. But this crazy shit about, these people are just stupid, and I think people got to start thinking about that a little more. It's like, not everybody's as stupid. It's not, if you don't agree with my opinion, it doesn't mean I'm stupid right off the bat.
Well, I might be stupid, but I don't want anybody to tell me I'm stupid.
Well, that's for goddamn sure,
But, back to what I was saying about the liberals are going to have to be like, no, you know what? I think you're wrong. I think the Civil Rights Act is a good thing. It kind of
that's. I mean,
show me how it was a bad thing.
It kind of brings everything back to
It needs to be. We need to
Well,
little bit of
let
that
me
Socratic.
copy ways.
We need a little bit of that Socratic dialogue, a little bit.
Well, and I think it kind of comes back to like Charlie Kirk's whole like shtick, the whole prove me wrong shtick, right? I mean, and it was basically, him going to college campuses and kind of teeing off on like young, scared, maybe undereducated,
well-funded
college kids.
Hundreds of million dollar
but I will say there's a
he's not just some random activist whatsoever.
But there is a reason. There's a reason that Charlie was debating college students and not college professors.
Right. Yeah. He never went to college. He just,
that like when he was in England and did the Oxford debate.
Right.
Oh my God.
He got
destroyed.
crushed by a bunch of college kids there.
Dude.
I mean, that's the cream of the crop.
Right.
Yeah, but good on him for using his words.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Use your words, criticize, argue, debate.
Right.
And he had a mission. His mission was to win young minds because,
of course,
typically on college campuses,
they're impressionable as fuck.
Students start to lean left, and that's just a natural course of getting more education. And
they go to Flathead High School, and the seed is planted, the liberal seed, and then it sprouts.
Performing transgender surgeries in their classrooms. It's disgusting.
Well, it really starts with the kitty litter, actually.
I mean, the people that are calling liberals stupid are the ones that believe that.
But back to what Joe Peck was saying, about, he used his words and debate. And I guess the thing that I take exception to with all this discourse around Charlie Kirk is, he just wanted to debate people. He just loved this debate.
That's horseshit.
He loved this debate of ideas. What has anyone seen in the last week from the right in this country that would make you think they care at all about free speech or any kind of open debate or discourse whatsoever? No. None of these people are legitimately concerned with it. I think it is, it's just a show. It's just entertainment for these people.
Yes,
and if you,
of course.
And if you can't see or you won't see that a lot of these people on the right, their whole business model is just to get normal folks to hate one another, then I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
But isn't that what I mean? It's all entertainment. There's no news anymore. 80% of people get their news from social media.
Yeah.
Social media is not a news outlet. This is not a news
Half it's
show.
AI now.
This is an entertainment show. Please don't ever mistake what you hear here for news.
No, this
is all about entertainment.
Wait a minute now.
we break in news on the show.
We break it down.
But I'll tell you.
We can't pretend like
people want people's honest opinion. That's what podcasts are for. They want regular people that aren't being paid.
All opinion.
But we're not being paid by any corporation. We're our own dudes that spend our time, donate our time to talk about this stuff that's going on because
I know.
it's
We weren't
conversation.
even promised chicken wings.
Yeah.
until
You
now.
just get your wings someday.
You know, and how about this guy was this guy was turned in by his dad?
Yeah, and they called the pastor.
And it's like his dad turned him in. So first we had Ted Kaczynski's brother turn
Yep.
him into the FBI.
Some fucked
Now
up
this
families
guy
out there,
rats
man.
out his kid. I think we need to talk about the disloyalty epidemic happening in white families in America.
Yes,
God,
we do need to.
Can't we just talk
Steve's pissed.
about his parents having an ethical bone in their body because he killed somebody?
Well,
I mean,
it's like he getting a fat reward, so he gets the deadbeat son out of the house, and he gets to pay off his mortgage
Yeah, you
all
got
in
$1 million,
one
I
swoop.
think. For
that's
that.
darker
So-
than my idea about the.
So the dad realized that he goes, because there's a video of him running across the roof.
Right.
And he goes, that looks like my kid. Oh, shit. And then there was a picture of the gun.
Really?
And it's one of his hunting rifles that, he's
It's his
had.
dad. It was his dad's gun. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's had it forever. And he's like, oh, fuck. So then that's when he texted him, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And then they were able to get him to the house. Then they called the local sheriff. And the sheriff's like, do not send a SWAT team. Don't do shit. We're going to bring him in. So this retired sheriff came down to the house. They talked about it. They walked in, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, that's great. You know, and
Yeah, the SWAT team, the kid would have killed himself, probably, right?
Oh,
yeah.
or in
So-
probably everybody in the house,
everybody in
too,
the house,
you know?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yep.
Maybe. Yeah.
so.
If you believe
but one
what
thing to
the
me,
FBI
and I'll just say it real quick.
That's a
and
different
There's
episode.
people that really
No,
believe
Cash
in.
Patel is believable.
in Kirk a lot, of course, and whatever it is, what it is. People love Joy Bear. I don't fucking know why. People love weirdos, But in my opinion, this is stuff that the right is very smart at. They put this out
Mm-hmm.
there. Rush Limbaugh was a genius. He got farmers and fucking union workers to think that they're getting fucked over. They're telling them not to trust the government, and this started in the 80s.
Well, it started
Started
way
in the
before
60s,
that.
yeah.
It started
Even-
like at the inception of the country. I mean,
True.
you have to
Okay,
think
you're right.
like
You're
who
right.
actually
You're right.
was the wrote
It's
the
always a part of it.
Constitution, and
Yeah.
what the.
But the
I
difference
mean,
with-
we've been trying to get the middle class to fight with each other since day
Day
one,
one, you're right.
because it keeps the focus off the real problems.
Yep, and keeps politicians in office,
Well, if you-
But my biggest
It's
problem
the,
with Kirk
oldest,
is
it's the world's oldest thing, divide and conquer.
exactly. But my problem with Kirk is, and it seems like the kids have always been, for the most part, off limits. Now you're taking, thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably young, impressionable men and women, and making this guy popular. These kids are going to are attracted to anything that's popular. It doesn't
yeah.
matter if you're conservative or liberal. It's very easy to get these kids on your side. This is where I find him disgusting. I find the right's ploy to this disgusting. Much exactly like conservatives feel teachers are the agenda is too liberal in schools. I get where they're coming from. I've fucking seen a lot of shit I don't agree with, without a doubt. Nothing's perfect, but this way of indoctrinating these young people and turning them into Christian nationalists without them fucking knowing, to me, that's the fucked up deal.
Well, if you take their perspective, which is something only people that have empathy can do, and that's not a whole lot of Americans anymore. But if you take their perspective, Charlie Kirk and his organization, they were only doing what they thought the left was doing to kids all along.
Exactly.
And-
What's good for the goose is good for the
And
gander.
so,
thing.
so they were fighting back in their own ways. Now, were their ideas the ones that represent the ideas that are outlined in the Declaration of Independence? No, they're not.
Right.
They're segregatory. They are they're anti certain people, for certain people. They are Christian focused and Christian forward. Those things are not part of traditional governing in the United States, but they were just doing what they saw the left doing all along throughout history.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump has been,
In their opinion,
has
for the
taken
most
that
part.
same stance with colleges and universities and said, you're too woke, you can't do this, you can't do that, they told Harvard you have to have a political diversity of views on your staff.
DEI.
These are things that are all just, it's their fighting back against what they view as the left has been doing. Do I agree with it? No, but I see their point of view, and
Yeah.
I see what they've been doing,
Just
and
like
they've
I
been
said. I
and
just
they've
said
been
that,
pretty
yeah.
goddamn
Yep.
successful in the last
They're
6
very
years with it.
successful.
Well,
Very
it's like
successful.
Joe Peck was just saying. It's not left versus right most of the time. We all agree on more than we say, and it reminded me of, if anyone remembers, the old railroad tycoon, a guy named Jay Gould. He was a railroad baron way back in the day. I think he was from New York. He had a great quote where he said, "I can hire half of the working class to kill the other half." And that's what this story reminds me of. Because like I was saying earlier, I don't think I'm ready. You know, Kevin was talking about how the guy got turned in and his dad, and he saw him running. I don't know if I'm ready to hitch my wagon to any of these theories yet.
I can't.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer that I don't think anything's going to be revealed about this investigation in terms of
Candace Owens is probably going to find out more.
motivation, or maybe even like who did it. I certainly don't think it's going to shake free, anything real or conclusive.
When Barron Trump's president, he'll release
right.
the Kirk files.
Second
can't
term,
wait.
his second term, he will.
Well, he won't be called president by
release
then.
this file before the Epstein file.
But I don't think it's going
We
to.
probably will find out more about
I don't
this
think
than
anything
Epstein.
real or conclusive is going to come from any of this because, like
No,
we've
of
been
course not.
talking about, I think we view all these things now, through
Candace
no fault
Owens
of our
thinks
own.
Netanyahu did it.
We kind of view everything through this big social media kaleidoscope, and it kind of drains anything of any real meaning. So it's just kind
Well,
of like,
it's been happening for a while that way. I mean, like whenever there's something that happens in the court, right? There's a judgment that comes to them from the court. The first thing the newspaper always says is, "Oh, so and so appointed them," or "This was a Republican appointed
Right.
judge," or a Democratic. I mean,
Right.
it's
Yes.
like immediately.
That's the
Immediately,
first thing.
so they can shape your view on it
Yeah.
before the story's even told.
and before we move on, I was talking to Ed about this earlier. Everyone's been talking about Charlie Kirk, and we've seen some real shocking things on social media lately. Like the other day, I saw this on Twitter. It said, "I don't care that Charlie Kirk is dead. My name is J.J. McCarthy. I'm the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He should probably be benched.
They should bench. They got.
They should maybe trade him.
Yeah, they probably should.
Did he really
yeah.
say
Maybe
that?
for Caleb Williams in a second. That'd be a good deal. No, he didn't say that.
Oh, you're trying to get rid of McCarthy?
He played so bad on Sunday that
He's
it's
got
like,
Jamarcus Russell
I'm
disease.
planting these stories, so
Oh,
maybe they will
that's
trade
what
his
it is.
ass.
Outside of a barn,
Yeah.
apparently.
All right.
Caleb Williams in a second, I'd take that deal.
They're like, there's plenty of quarters or if not halves in football where he didn't even throw a pass.
Yeah.
Played at Michigan.
But
in
we
the Big Ten.
we do have to talk about the best response to the Charlie Kirk tragedy, and that was President Trump's response.
Holy
to
cow!
the Charlie
Did you
Kirk
see the
tragedy.
construction equipment over
It's
here?
so
that
good,
was his
man.
fucking answer for a
It's
guy
so
that
good.
he's so close to.
It's so funny where
Well,
it's
now
like
they're all pushing back and saying, "How dare you say this and that?"
it was the it was
That's why Kimmel
easily
got fired. He just pointed out.
it was
Yeah.
easily the funniest and the most disrespectful response about this whole Charlie Kirk
without a
thing.
doubt.
Was 24
And
hours he completely forgot about Charlie Kirk and started talking about the
This is our
McMansions he
president.
were building. You had everyone on the right frothing at the mouth saying, "You're going to reap the whirlwind of the civil war that's coming." And meanwhile, we had Grandpa
Trump's
at the
like,
White
"Oh,
House showing off wallpaper swatches of the
Yeah.
ballroom.
Yeah.
Look
You
at
think
this,
is
it's
good?
fantastic.
Will this match?
God, it's so good. They asked him how he was holding up. "How are you holding up, Mr. President?" He said,
I'm okay.
He said, "I think very good. By the way, have you seen the trucks?
Charlie who?
They're bringing in the trucks."
Charlie who?
Well, and then he went on.
Do I know him?
He went on Fox News, and they asked him, "Where were you when you got the news?" And he
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I was in the middle of plans for my ballroom. It's been 150 years they're
Yeah.
trying to get this ballroom." And he just went on and on about his
About the
ballroom.
ballroom.
Even
Now's
God,
the
it's
guy.
funny. The funniest
I mean,
president ever.
It's almost as if he kind of like, he doesn't give a fuck about
he's so funny.
anything.
Doesn't give a shit.
He is fucking blinders on.
Well,
me.
but the ballroom. I mean, how much?
cares about-
It's
Hey,
important.
It's
that is a
very
good point.
important.
He
Go
does
to the
care about
ballroom.
the
Right.
ballroom.
Oh yeah,
Right, man. We
so
need
he
a
can
ballroom
hang
with
more
600
pictures of
people.
himself and his family.
And it was also
It's
in
so
that,
ghetto to have tents outside.
It was also in
Ugh.
that same interview on Fox News when they were talking about how divided the country is and everything just feels like it's a tinderbox. And they said, "Mr. President, what do we do to fix this country?" And I don't know if you saw what he said, but it was the greatest
I can't
answer
watch
I've
him.
ever seen from any president on it. He said, "I couldn't care less."
Yeah.
just
He said, I could care less. I could care less. I could care less.
Yeah.
Then he starts bitching about Democrats.
Yeah, it truly is. Because it's like, he had two separate opportunities, kind of when the moment called for it, for him to be empathetic and be somewhat human,
No fucking way.
to kind of
Not
say
with that
something
guy.
nice about this guy, Charlie Kirk, who I would argue devoted pretty much his entire adult life to President Donald Trump and his causes.
Without a doubt. I think Trump's more concerned about wallpaper.
He has this inability to relate to humanity in any way.
In any way,
It's like
you're
when I
right.
talk to my 3-year-old and I'm like, son, the family dog died. And he goes, "Okay, have you seen my crayons?"
Yeah.
It's
How
just
much
like-
money? How much of our tax dollars have gone to remodel that fucking White House? Because I keep seeing
Oh,
pictures
God.
all the time. Everything's fucking gold.
Yeah.
everything, you know. Like, what the fuck is that
There's,
obsession?
there's not going to be any accounting for
I
any
moved
of
into
that
this house, I
stuff
removed
at
everything
all.
that was cheesy and gold.
There's
Oh,
no-
my God, that's
yeah, yeah.
cheesy
There's
as
no,
fuck.
there's
Yeah.
no Doge on any of that stuff.
Yeah, where are they?
Doge is all about firing people and getting rid of anybody who
Doge
might
is.
be left leaning.
And it was like he also skipped
And-
the vigil to go golfing.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yes. He didn't even go to the fucking, he said, I'd rather go on Sunday.
It's so funny because he just simply couldn't give a shit less about his friend being murdered. And then you have guys like
I don't think they were friends.
And then you have guys like Ezra Klein, you know, have an article that says, "Today we mourn a beacon of American democracy at its finest."
What the fuck is that?
And then
That is not American
when you
democracy.
juxtapose that with the trucks for the ballroom are on their way, it's just as funny as it gets, folks. I'm
Ken
sorry.
Cuccinelli said
I'm
You
sorry.
know, he said at the same time.
Probably.
Dude, Ken Cuccinelli, I could not believe it. I couldn't believe what he said about how,
I
you
just
know,
can't
Kirk's
make
never
myself
incited
watch this
anything. He's never gotten, you know, out of hand. He's never gotten, you know. And I'm like, you have all these fucking videos of Charlie Kirk jumping out of his fucking chair, yelling and pointing at people that are
Right.
disagreeing with him. I mean, but like, I mean, okay, because he's dead, you say nice things? No, that's what you do with your fucking alcoholic uncle. When he dies, you say nice things about him, knowing he was a fucking asshole.
Well, but I think it's pretty clear what all these people are doing is, you know, and I think Joe Peck maybe brought this up last week. They're creating a martyr.
Oh yeah, they're
yeah.
whitewashing it.
They
Without
want to
a doubt.
wave the bloody white shirt, and they want to do that to advance their political goals, which appear to be to
what?
stifle speech and to criminalize any kind of political dissent or political opposition.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I see those comments from, you know, Ken Cuckoo or
Cuccinelli.
whatever the fuck is
Cuccinelli.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
That's what I think when I see that, and it's like, okay, he's
You're
got
right. It is
he's got
that.
his orders. You know, this is what they're going to do.
Barking orders,
You
without
know,
a doubt.
Charlie'd probably be on board with it.
Oh, without a doubt he would. I mean,
you
like, without a doubt.
It was very interesting to see the Utah governors.
Dude.
I don't know if you guys saw his press conference.
Bo
where
has
they-
to meet with that guy.
Well, really?
Bo that's been on our show.
Really?
He's
Because he said, for the last 33 hours, I had been praying that this person, was from another country, that he was not one of us because we are not like that. It's like,
yeah, we're nothing like that.
I was hoping to blame
fucking
this
idiot.
on immigrants, you know, at least a minority, but
I
then
know,
he turned
God
out to
damn.
be white.
I mean, there's so many fucking Mexicans around here. You'd think one of them would have
Please,
done it.
he's just, please be white, please be white, please be white. Or no, please be black, please be black. Fuck, he's white.
He's a fucking Mormon.
Yeah,
God,
and I got a very,
God, they called the pastor.
yeah, I had a very big laugh of like, you know, a right wing, like a right wing listserv, like an email chain coming out when they
4chan?
found this guy, and they go, "Hey everybody, you know, bad news. The Civil War has been canceled due to the shooter being demographically uncooperative. We'll try again next time."
They would never use that kind of PC language.
No way.
They would have said, "This guy was a honky, just like the rest of us."
Yeah. But, you know, we did get, you know, to go to the next topic here that Kevin has up on the screen, you know, we did get to spend, I don't know, they talked about the lack of humanity on the left for the last, like, 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And then you've got this son of a bitch, Brian Kilmeade, on Fox News. They're talking about homelessness. Did you
Yeah.
see this one, Steve?
This was this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was like
2 days ago.
2 days ago. And
They
his
should be
plan
fucking
was
euthanized.
quote, involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yes. He said that on Fox News. I mean, like, you know, and
on
all
the
the Fox
news.
News
On the
casters
news,
apparently are all gazillionaires, so they would, you know, they don't care.
You know,
about
MSNBC fires Matthew Dowd for quoting
Dude,
Charlie Kirk.
I know.
And then this guy says we just systematically murder homeless people, and no one bats an eye.
There's a big difference you're missing between Charlie Kirk and homeless people.
I know.
Charlie Kirk was popular. He was famous. He was
It's a
he
life.
was somebody who was out there pushing
Yeah, but there's no
right-wing
difference.
politics.
There's no difference if you
and
say that
is
somebody
the
should die.
that is the big difference.
I know.
But like nobody on
you know I'm being
MSNBC
sarcastic,
said,
right?
I know, but nobody on
but that's-
MSNBC ever said we
Well,
should kill fucking Republicans.
There was a Fox News host who got up and shouted at people that's the difference. That's why nobody.
Oh, yes.
That's why
No,
it's
I've
different.
seen it, yep.
That's why it's different because he was famous. It's
yeah.
not about a life.
It's
It's
like,
not about a
dude.
human. It's not about.
Right.
It's not about taking care of each other. It's not
No.
about. And this was a guy who was Christian who doesn't care about
Christian.
about what Jesus
Christian.
said about taking care of
I don't
people.
think any of these people are
and
Christian.
that's the.
I'll be honest
for
with you.
me,
I don't think
that's
they are.
that's one of the bigger sticking points for me about all these guys on the right who claim to be Christians who just push people away and don't actually listen to the message that they claim that they go to church every week and listen to.
So are one of the 10 Commandments you can't lie, you shouldn't lie?
Yeah, I think
is it one of them?
It is, but it's word. I think
what
it's
the
Can't,
fuck?
don't bear false witness.
Carol
against your
Leavitt
neighbor.
is not
Thou
a
shalt
fucking
not
Christian.
bear
None of these
false
people
witness
are.
against their neighbor. No, but I mean, this is Christian hypocrisy. That's been going on since
Right.
Jimmy Carter.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
even
Christian
before then.
white
Forever.
Christian
People have been
nationalism in
using
this
it.
country is not
History's-
Christian nationalism. It
history's
is
greatest.
white nationalism
It is.
that goes all the way back to the beginnings of the Ku Klux Klan
Well, that was my problem with Kirk in the first place.
after the Civil
He's
War.
getting all these fucking idiots to vote for Christian nationalists, and they don't know they're doing it. Because
They're
if you
not-
sat them down and let them know that Christian
They
nationalists
are not
was-
Christian nationalists.
Okay,
they are
white
white
nationalists.
nationalists.
Whatever.
And let's use that term
I think they're the same.
in place of when we say
Yeah,
Christian
but then you want
nationalists
people,
on this
but
show.
you want people to know what you're talking about, so you say Christian nationalists.
Well, Christian
I mean,
white nationalists.
if we can get that many followers, we can change that narrative someday.
So Ed, I have a quote for you this week.
You have hope?
I have
oh,
a
the
quote.
Oh, my quote of the week.
My quote of the week. Okay.
Good. Jesus Christ.
So, whoever closes his ear to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered.
Ooh, it sounds like a. Boy, that's
like a Bible verse
cryptic
to me.
message about being nice to people.
That is
gonna come
Proverbs
back to
chapter
you.
21, verse 13
Oh, I
of
would
the
not know
King
that.
James Bible.
King James.
Wow.
Gotta love
I
King
did
James.
not know that. I have not studied that
It's
one.
so woke.
Is it?
So
That
we're
sounds
not
woke.
supposed to kill poor people?
Super
I'm a
woke.
little confused.
Super
Kill me
duper
doesn't
woke.
like that one. Kill me does not like that.
Well, and it's like, okay, what does the average person, when they interact with the homeless, what percentage of those interactions are just seeing them? 99.9%.
I think it's
You
all
drive
just
by.
saying
Right?
it.
Where
I
it's
think it's
like-
100% the problem is
Maybe-
that,
I don't know,
you're
when I-
making me very, very uncomfortable.
And that's what, but it's like, I try to think about like, what would get me to say a group of people need to be systematically murdered, involuntarily killed. And it's just the fact, like, I was walking to my car and I saw in the corner of the parking garage a homeless guy sleeping.
Or a bunch of Packer fans.
Well,
Like for
yeah,
you,
those people
those-
are-
You
ugh.
probably want them
Those
gone.
are
The
those are bigger
subhuman.
degenerates.
Well, there's not much humanity left in
But
a
it's
lot
like
of
maybe
people.
1 out of 100 interactions with homeless people is someone asking you for change.
Yeah.
I would say, other than that, it's just you see them.
Real quick,
And if you're not in your car, you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
yeah.
but-
no,
When
yeah.
I ride my bike
I
to the
pretend
tap
I'm on
house,
my phone all the time when I see him. Oh, hey, my grandma. Always. Like, I'm always on my phone in Las Vegas walking around. Like, oh, shit, there's a panhandler.
Yeah, but Ed, you mentioned not a lot of humanity. I think there's a ton of humanity out there. We just forget that it's with our neighbors, it's with our friends downtown.
Because there are good people
There's-
everywhere.
We
There are
like the
good
social
people.
media stuff. It just twists our vision of
Right.
the world.
It's not
I
real life.
hate it.
It
Turn off the internet, and the world
Yes.
would be better.
It
you
is
know?
not
Mike,
real
we
life.
wouldn't have any followers then.
Yeah.
we'd have to go back to reading these newspaper things. I don't like when my hands get black when I read a
Yeah.
newspaper.
Ryan, tell them your idea for the summer that you used to have.
Yeah, I said if I've I said this I think on when Riley was
Oh,
on the
yeah,
show.
yep.
If I was president, one of the first things I would do, I would be a benevolent dictator. One
Without a doubt.
of the first things I would do is Memorial Day. I would pull a big lever, and then it would shut off social media and say we'll turn it back on around Labor Day. Go
Yep.
have fun.
Yep, go have fun.
And the
Enjoy
people
your
that say,
summer.
well, we've got the First Amendment, I'd say, well, my second order of business as president would be sending you to hell, pal.
Yeah. Well, by the time you're president,
All right.
Trump's already been president, and so has his kids. So it's going to be a whole different country. There will be no rights at all.
But Joe Peck hit it straight on the nose. I mean, it's like it's poison. It's bad for you. It rots your brain.
It does.
It turns you into a fucking maniac. It
And
makes
they're
you
doing it on
schizophrenic.
purpose.
Yes,
Yes,
they know.
And people are
The
willingly taking
The
it
entire
in.
business model is only sustained when normal folks hate one another.
So, and I'll be honest, I'm a victim. I get fired up when Cuccinelli says,
Where did Steve
you know,
touch you?
Charlie Kirk.
Oh.
He never got angry. He didn't call people names. He respected them. He told them he respected them.
Right. Well, that's just not true.
That's just a
And-
straight,
and-
flat out
that's not
lie.
I mean, that's insane that you've got a guy that's was an elected official, was in the Trump administration, and these are all these real people that just sit there and lie about something. It's
Right.
more than just about respecting the dead, because that's what people will say to you.
Yeah.
Oh, have some respect for the
Politicians
dead.
lie.
Yeah.
Well, if I mean, like, I'll respect like Jesus. He died and he was a
Yeah.
good dude. You know what I mean?
Well, okay,
but-
so Masson, quoted Charlie Kirk back to this guy, and the guy got super
Yeah.
pissed. And, we talk about Jesus, we talk about Charlie Kirk. I do find it very interesting that the one thing that Charlie Kirk and Jesus have in common with one another is the right wing gets super fucking pissed when you quote them back at them.
Yes, they do.
Right? They get really pissed.
Yes,
That's
you're
true.
right.
That's
You're
right.
right.
Certainly with Jesus. They're
Yeah.
just like,
Definitely
Yeah.
with Jesus.
do not.
Do not go there.
Do not.
Nope. That
It
is
was
not
like,
your place.
It was like, no. He said, the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield, he gets equal time for the Sermon on the Mount. Let's hear what they have to say.
You think it's the social media and this shit that's rotting our brains?
Yes.
That's
100%.
where Luigi came from, you think?
Maybe, yeah.
This guy that shoot Kirk, man. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Well,
definitely. Well,
well,
the guy that shoots Kirk looks like he was
It
really
could be. I mean,
he was what?
really online.
Yeah, he did. He
Like
kinda did. Like
Groyper.
Yes. Yeah.
And that'll be a fun conversation when my parents ask me what
no.
Groyper is. But wait,
no.
they don't talk to me because of Charlie Kirk.
well, at least religion is still excommunicating people. I mean, that's a good thing, right? I mean,
Yeah, and it's like
it's
my dad said on Sunday he went to church and the priest brought up Charlie Kirk and there were a few people that walked out. And it was like, yeah, I mean, I can understand that if you try to live your life on the teachings of Jesus and you talk about the things that he said, I would think that the teachings of Jesus Christ conflicts quite a bit with the modern Republican Party. Well, I guess I shouldn't say modern Republican Party, but the Republicans that are
the
currently
MAGA,
in
the MAGA party,
Right.
It's let's. I mean, I hope we can start calling it what it is, because I have a lot of really good friends who are Republicans who would never vote MAGA, who despise what's going on with their what they view still as their party,
Right.
Because they don't see themselves aligning with the left at all.
Why are they so
or except
quiet?
on very, very few things, because they're scared.
Is that what it is?
I think they're scared, and the fact that if you
Are
speak
they
up
scared
against
for
Trump,
their livelihoods, that kind of stuff?
maybe, yeah.
Well, just of not making
They
more
talk
money.
to me about it, and I'm sure they talk to their friends about it. And they vote. Maybe they didn't vote in the last election. I do know I had plenty of friends who were like, I'm not voting for Trump, and I'm not voting for Kamala either, because she's as illegitimate as he is. Yeah. And that was the problem with this last election. But the idea that Republicans are MAGA is we have to separate the two. We
But
really
I don't know
do.
if we have to, because they're the ones kowtowing for him, though.
Only at
They're
the national
supporting
level.
them.
Only at the national. Only once you get elected, because you can't. You can't look at what happened.
As a
Look at
person,
what happened in
yeah.
Montana to the moderate Republicans who
Oh.
voted their conscience and voted for what's right for the people of Montana.
Only after you
They
get
got kicked out of
elected
the
and you
party.
go to that hotel room in Moscow. And
Yeah,
then you
exactly.
count the
Yeah,
vote.
Yeah,
Right,
the golden
right.
showers are what
Yeah.
washes all your sins away.
You go to
and
the-
you become MAGA.
You go to the Capitol. They take you down.
That's how you wash those sins away? All right.
Yeah, you get elected. You go to the Capitol. They take you down a secret elevator, and all of a sudden a projector starts playing, but it's the Kennedy assassination from an angle you haven't seen before. And you go, okay, boys, what's my agenda here? I understand the assignment. But no, I just think that it's the whole point of all this, of social media and everything, is to just divide us. I saw there was a huge poll that was done on YouGov where they asked all these people, do you think the shooter is 24% of the people said, I think the shooter's a conservative. 21% of the people said, I think the shooter's a liberal. But he was neither. It turns out he was unaffiliated. It's not helpful. It's like asking, okay, Steve, do you think the moon is made of cheese or Pop Rocks? It's like, no.
I hope it's pop.
Yeah, neither.
That'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lee Harvey Oswald, who was he? Was he a?
Oh, he's a patsy.
But
Are we doing this right now?
Was-
Yeah.
Hey, I got time.
We're going there.
I
We
got
are
time.
going
That's
there.
fine.
We're
was
going
he-
there. I'm getting on
was
it
he
right
a
now.
Republican or a Democrat? Well,
I got notes.
Well, he's a Marine.
Yeah, I mean, at least whether he acted alone, whether he was even part of the whole thing.
He's also on the second
There
floor
was
of the
never this. But
cafeteria
there was
when the
never
shot was
this.
fired.
There was never this. There was never. There was never this hunting of the other party because your guy got shot.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you
The
didn't
Democrats
have all the
never went after
megaphones.
the
You didn't
Republicans. They
have
never
the
said
internet. You didn't have the
You didn't have the internet, dude.
You
Right.
didn't
It
have the
happened today.
500
Yeah.
people giving you opinions
Yep.
24/7.
Maybe giving everyone a voice 24/7 is
Did
a
you guys?
bad thing.
You know, one thing I forgot to talk about
I think
last
the
week.
founding fathers actually they wrote a lot into the Constitution
I believe it.
to try to prevent
Speak-
those
and-
kinds of things.
You would think,
like the
well,
Electoral College was
we
one
don't
of them.
care about that anymore.
Speaking of that, and
the
speaking of,
Constitution does not
Well,
matter.
they're shredding
Hey,
it.
real quick, did you guys? Am I the only one that noticed this? But I think it's weird. Okay, not to add to another conspiracy. When Kirk got rushed off stage, they stuffed him into a Suburban from the side, not even the back, not a fucking ambulance with life-saving shit on it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
thought him going into a Suburban was really fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I'm not like.
what do you got against Suburbans? I mean, they're a nice rig.
He's a GMC guy.
You
Yeah, he
you
doesn't
tell
like
me I need
Chevys.
one?
Yeah.
But isn't that really weird? I
It
just
is
think it's weird. There's
strange,
gotta
and
be
it's like-
must be ambulances everywhere. It's a college campus.
And it's like, look, I have those days where I love to make myself feel schizophrenic, and I look up conspiracy theories, and I'm sure I will do it with the Charlie Kirk story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you
think
will.
we just got to wait for more info to come out.
I guess I just thought that was weird that he was carried and shoveled into that.
I guess
and
they
not
didn't have an
really-
ambulance there. That was the
It's
thing.
insane.
Which I don't know.
I mean, well, it's Utah, bootstraps.
You'd think at
They
a
don't-
religious, you'd
I
think at
don't
something
need an
that religious,
ambulance.
people would be fainting all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what happened in Mississippi? Dude, This is so I'm seeing all different
Very
reports
strange.
now. This
I haven't seen anything about Mississippi.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy,
Very
cops
strange.
said right away, no bruises, no broken bones,
So
everything's
I immediately
fine.
thought
Then you hear,
suicide,
yes, that's what everybody thought.
but yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's what we were told.
Yeah.
So,
But then you had Biden, you had Gavin Newsom, you had all these people on the left calling for a civil war and saying we need to round up Republicans.
yeah.
Obviously, that didn't happen because that
Right,
would be
we need
absolutely
that.
absurd.
Right, right. Do we don't, but we don't know. But there was. So what we do know is that
Obama came out
there
and
was
said something about it.
There was a black person that was hung from a tree.
Yes.
On the
Obama
campus
fucking-
at the University of
Obama-
Mississippi.
Yep. And there's
Obama
no
doesn't say
foul
a
play
goddamn
suspected.
thing.
No
Obama
foul
hasn't
play
said a
suspected.
fucking thing in how many years?
goes,
He came out today and said something about this. So
What'd he
this
say?
Is, well, okay.
No, I'm just curious.
Right, and you only hear from that guy when he goes, let me be clear.
me
My
be clear.
new Netflix show is
I
coming
feel
out
your pain.
in 6 weeks.
Just like Bill Clinton did, and I'm going to make it better.
I live in Montecito now.
What did Obama say about the hanged? Oh, I can't. Not hanged. I guess hang. Yeah.
Obama hanging. I was like, you don't want to type that in,
Going to
Kevin.
send it right to
Oh,
4chan.
yeah.
Right to
You don't wanna
4chan.
type that one
Here's where
in.
we're going to get the good stuff on that.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what AI tells us.
Oh, 2012. Yeah.
Well, he said something.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
came out and said something.
What did Obama say about the person that was found hanged in a tree in Mississippi?
Here's another moment of silence.
I know.
And
Yeah.
It must be like we
I
must
don't
be getting
know.
close to the
Yeah,
end.
it could have been.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end.
Might
I
have
do.
been AI.
You know,
You
I
never
think
know.
that it is.
But it was just very skeptical. I'm skeptical.
It's one of those things
Well-
that it's like, well, I'm going to have to wait another week before
Probably.
well,
wildly speculate on it.
if it were a white kid, would it be different? You know, I mean, the whole civil rights movement started because
I mean, more white
finally-
people die per day than black
Because,
people.
well-
I mean, I mean, they are. It is that way. So
well, there's more
there's
white
more
people
white.
than black
I think
people.
that's what I'm saying.
But you know, the civil rights
A lot of
movement
people
didn't
wouldn't agree
really
with
get
that.
going until 3 white kids got killed in Mississippi for going out and trying to get people
And helping a
registered
black
to vote.
person.
Yeah.
This is after Emmett Till is brutally murdered and tied to a fan and stuffed in the river.
Was that Murder in the Grove? I think I read that book.
Well, if you don't know who Emmett Till is, you should look him up because he was one of the first people.
Oh.
His mom is the real hero here in that she was the one who said, "No, you guys are going to have an open fucking casket so everybody can see what they did to my boy."
Right.
And so, you know, if it were a white person hanging there,
Yeah.
it'd be a totally different story. And that's the
Well,
part that really
yeah.
frosts my ass. Like nobody's investigating it. No, it didn't even touch the news cycle because we're still talking about Charlie Kirk. We're talking about Trump getting the lavish treatment in Great Britain.
Did you see him eating that bowl of pasta?
I did not.
Oh,
I
man,
don't
that's a
I
good
don't
picture.
watch
he said,
any
he
news
said
about
he
Donald.
fixed inflation today.
I'll show you that
And
picture. It's a
He
good
said he
one.
took care of it.
And we're
Google
talking
that,
about
Kevin.
Jimmy Kimmel getting
Trump
fired
eating pasta.
because he, you know,
It's a good
but we're
one.
not talking about even looking at why this kid was hung on campus in Mississippi. And that, you know, that
Yeah,
kind of
there
shit
it is.
really
You're right,
frosts
you're
my
right.
ass.
Where is it?
So who's getting canceled next? I mean, we've got Kimmel,
Okay,
we got
that's. I was
Colbert.
just gonna bring up.
Who's
Do you
next?
remember how
Can we get
these people-
canceled? Are we
These
getting paid?
culture warriors
Oh,
talking about everything getting
We've been canceled by the Democrats already, haven't we?
But tell me how it's
But
okay
they're the
now that
cancelers. So
it's okay now to cancel, Colbert and Kimmel and these guys. I mean,
It's got to be fake,
that
right?
might be a real picture.
There's no way.
Oh my God.
I will be too happy if that is true.
Can you share that with the audience?
That has got to be fake. It's got to.
Charles looks like he's fucking 380 pounds.
is
gotta
that
be.
a McDonald's bag next to him?
It's got to be.
Like a
looks
big
like it.
giant thing
British
of
food is
McDonald's fries.
never that good. It looks delicious.
They don't eat pasta there.
Yeah, it's like bubble and squeak.
Where are the
Shit
bangers
like
and
that.
mash?
Yeah, right. No bubble, no squeak.
I forgot what we were talking
Yeah, but
about.
who's getting canceled next? We canceled
Who's
Who we
canceling next?
canceled? Who are we canceling?
We canceled Colbert like a month earlier, 2
Yeah.
months earlier.
Kimmel.
Who's
So-
next?
Jimmy Kimmel went down.
Oh, Seth Meyers, I think. We should have a bet.
I think we
Who's getting
should.
canceled next?
They're gonna have Jimmy Fallon, talking to Charlie Kirk on a Ouija board tonight, doing a lip sync battle.
I think Saturday Night Live has got to be pretty close.
Yeah.
Yes, it's normally that's the too
NBC.
soon show.
But I think I think the Kimmel story
Oh, they're
deserves
afraid. They're not gonna
deserves
do
much
anything.
more time than we can devote to it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we'll definitely be able to talk about it next week because there's a lot there to discuss.
Let's get him on the pod.
Who knows what's
Yeah,
going to
he's
happen?
got nothing.
Let's call him.
Fuck else going
He doesn't have anything to do.
Hey, I'm
He
going to
wants
tell you
to-
what.
he wants to
This
be on a
shit
show
sucks for us.
called
All
Beer
this sucks
Buds
for
in the
us,
Big Sky.
Because they're all going to podcasts.
Yeah.
That's more competition for us. And that's the big part about this. But real quick on this, these are the people that fucking hated cancel culture. And
Right.
they are canceling
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck out of anything
Well,
that they don't
look,
agree with.
I-
This is how dumb I
There's
think people
censoring.
really
It's
are.
not even canceled.
Like
This is
these people
straight
are
up
getting on this
censorship.
bandwagon. These people these liberals is canceling everything.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what? Now that you're doing it, it's automatically
Yeah.
okay. Okay. How come somebody can't now be there and be like, hey, it's kind of wrong just to fucking tell people what they can and can't do?
I've
Where's
always-
that libertarian streak that this country's always had? It's fucking gone. It is fucking gone. And the left and the right took it away from us. For
No,
sure.
there are a billion swastika-shaped snowflakes floating around in the Republican Party.
Well,
right
I said
now.
I've always, when it comes to cancel culture, my response has always been, look, the left does cancel culture, all while saying cancel culture doesn't exist,
Yep.
and the right does cancel culture, all while saying cancel culture is bad.
Yep.
That's exactly what happens.
they are the
Every
best-
single time.
they
The
are the
left
best.
cancels people, and they go, "What are you talking about?
We're not
Cancel
doing that."
culture's not real." And then the right cancels people, and then
Like, it's
5 seconds
horrible.
later, they go, "It is awful when we get canceled." And they're trying, the Bud Light boycott, all that bullshit.
Oh my god.
They have gaslighting down to a T.
Right.
They are
Yeah,
the
they're
best
pretty good.
gaslighters
Well, they're
in the world.
professionals. They're all professionals. They know what to do.
So real quick before we end, now that
You got another quote?
now that I got Steve here, so Steve, what can you tell me about Greenville, South Carolina? Because I'm thinking about betting the East Carolina Pirates this weekend against BYU.
Oh, that's Greenville, North Carolina. Is
Oh.
the East Carolina Pirates. Yes,
Okay.
Greenville, North. That's why they're
Ooh.
Against
East
BYU?
Carolina.
Fuck them
Because
then.
Greenville is in the west of South
I really
Carolina,
wanna
but
bet
the
against
east of
them.
North Carolina.
I
You
really
went
want
against the Mormons.
I want to
You
bet
went
against
against the
BYU
Mormons.
because their quarterback wears number 47, and it just drives
That's
me nuts.
stupid.
Really? They're playing BYU.
That really
It
pisses me
I,
off.
I
Drives
wouldn't.
me
I don't know
nuts.
what's
That
the
is not-
spread
well,
on
they
that
all
one.
do
It's like
now.
14 and a half. But 14.5-point home dogs, I just don't know. Is Greenville like a rowdy place?
It could be. I mean, they've been good. They've been bad. I haven't
Okay.
paid attention to them this year.
BYU's favored by
I missed it
14.
by 2 weeks on the bet. I mean,
All right.
I could have told you Vanderbilt, but I didn't want to set you up.
They're not in
again
the same
for,
fucking division.
No, it's just a
no.
random game. But I'll go to the
Okay.
tap house and
It's
put a
South
hefty
Carolina.
bet on the Eastern
But
Carolina.
If
Pirates.
you could
Hefty,
get,
$5?
if you can still get Missouri, if you can still get Missouri minus less than 5,
Okay.
5 or less, that's a
I
pretty
like
sure.
that. We got to have John Joseph back on the show.
Pretty sure
Talk
bet.
Yeah,
about
we
that
should at
one.
some point.
But
Or zoom them in.
Because that line
I asked him
opened
to
at
do stuff, he
minus
never gets
1,
back
which
to
is a
me, so-
toss-up. Mine opened up minus 1.5, which is a toss-up after we
right.
get beat by Vanderbilt 31-7.
Yep. Are there any closing words, anybody?
More chicken wings next week. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
I should bring some
We are-
chicken wings.
I am
Well,
deficient
Mike,
in
I'm
chicken
sure you eat it on the farm, but we always have dinner here. Tonight was a sirloin tip roast.
Are you
Really?
still?
Next
Is the
week's
farm still
bratwurst.
open? Farm stand still open, or is it
Yeah,
done?
we got a couple more, and then the season's over.
We
Yep.
never went and got pickles from Mike.
Let's go Friday. Let's go
Make
Friday,
pickles
guys.
next year.
Pickles.
Friday.
You got any
Farm
pickles
stand?
left?
We got some cukes, but pickles. Pickles.
I
Are
mean,
good.
cukes. You got cukes left?
Yeah, yeah. who doesn't like pickles?
So we should go next. Let's go this Friday.
I know.
Yeah, that's
people
what I
that
just
don't like-
said.
You can't
Really?
trust
Tomorrow.
It's like people that don't like dogs.
Yeah, that is
It's like,
tomorrow.
Oh, we like dill pickles or sweet and sour?
Kevin,
Just
you wanna
like any
blow
kind
off
of
your football
pickles.
game and go with us to Joe Peck's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd love that.
Where are you playing? Home?
Home against Capital, a little redemption from the state
Oh,
title.
let's go. Oh,
What do we
hey,
think? Wolfpack
Steve.
minus 4.5.
Let's go get pickles and go to the
Let's
game.
get Kevin
Check out some
fired by
shit.
I'm not
betting
going. I
on
can't
high
go to
school
the, I can't go to the
football
Glacier
games.
game.
You don't like pickles?
Why can't you go to the game?
Oh, if I go to a game, I got to go to a Flathead game. I can't go to another Glacier game before I go to a
You're
Flathead
fucking
game.
going with your producer buddy Kevin. You're supporting him.
Friday Night Lights,
I
man.
don't know. High school football's really not my favorite.
Sneak a bottle up the bleachers.
We're gonna get some comments now.
Great. You're in Bulldog.
It was
country,
all
fuck.
good. We got away with all that Kirk stuff. Now we're dumping on high school football.
I'm not dumping on it. It's
Well,
just not my thing. I'll ride my bike to a
I do have a
Bulldogs
closing
game.
thought.
But
Okay.
I
we got a
drive
closing
down
thought.
to-
Good.
I
good,
do
good.
have a closing thought where it's like,
Okay.
of all the chaos that happened over the last week and all the hypocrisy we saw on the left and the right, I do think that I need to give some props to Governor Greg Gianforte.
Dude, you're right.
As critical as we
Good job,
are
Greg.
of Gianforte, he did come out
We're not really
and
that
say,
critical of him.
not really, but he did come out and say, look,
critical as we should
people
be.
are saying some awful things on social media about Charlie Kirk, things that I would never say, things that shouldn't be said, but as the governor of Montana, I swore an oath to the Montana Constitution to uphold the First Amendment, and no Montanan, no state employee for Montana will ever be fired for any sort of speech
glad
that
you
they
remember
put
that.
on
Yeah,
social
that's
media.
important.
So I will,
Wow.
tip of the hat to Greg
Yep,
Gianforte
yep,
because
tip of the hat. Tip of the hat.
I feel like a lot of guys on the right, you're not going to see that from. So good to
Fuck no,
Greg.
you're
He
not.
appears to have some principles, and good for him.
And you're a state employee, so I mean it's job protection.
Yeah,
Right,
you
yeah.
fucking company line right there. Boy, I didn't see that come on. Now I know. I read right through you. All right, you guys, thanks a lot.
Thank
That was a
you.
great week.
All right.
Check us out on all of our socials and please subscribe so we can start paying for the food. beforehand.
BBB
Like and
podcast,
subscribe.
MP at
Like and
gmail.com.
subscribe.
Yeah,
Please send me
BBB
Sports Bets
podcast.
tips. Thank you.
Yeah, sports bet tips.